Welcome to the Immaterial Gamers podcast.
I wasn't there for any of the beginning bit.
Yeah, no, you popped up at the
I just came in to defend their choice.
Offered you 2 cents, and then
I'm not one of them people. I don't take a side. To me, I see the upside and I see the downside of both. They shouldn't have done it the way they did. But again,
yeah,
it's
one man decision is never a good thing.
Yeah, no, never is.
Right, let's do this. Welcome to the Immaterial Gamers podcast, take 2 of episode 106.
It's actually like take 7, but yeah.
Oh, take 7.
Something
Behind
like
the scenes from the world of D. It's known as the.
Well, the first 5 times I screwed up, and then Craig didn't actually record because I didn't have my audio switched on.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
I
important.
had Discord on, but I wasn't keying in. But it wasn't on voice activation.
Oops.
So I had 30 minutes of
30
minutes of zero. It just said I recorded for 2 seconds. Like, why?
If Craig can't pick anything up, then he just disappear.
He was in the channel for the entire time.
That's weird. Usually he just thinks, oh, I can't hear anything, I'll just piss off.
Yeah, because I thought that was what was happening when he was accidentally leaving.
Yeah.
No, basically, he stayed in the channel with me for 30 minutes and then gave me a WAV file saying he's only got 2 seconds of audio.
Whoops. So so this is known internally as the expanding upon what D did edition.
Yeah, I tried, and
it's
failed.
tough. It's tough, as D will attest here. They recorded a podcast solo.
Me and Craig.
And Craig isn't much of a conversationalist. That's why it's our producer.
Depending on what it is. For what we do, I don't think it's doable solo.
Yeah, that's that.
If it was just read the basic news and give you opinion, do that solo.
Yeah. Like I was saying to D before recording, it's like doing a radio show without having the links to the radio songs.
I'm just going to send you a file one day, and all it's going to be is the news section where it's just me talking, and they've got rid of you lot.
Oh, perfect. So we could so we could record the podcast bits.
Let's just do the podcast bit.
So we do this, and now we turn to Steph with the news. Flash cuts to Steph just going.
Proper layout and everything, paper like that. And on this week's news, we have.
I was going to say like the REM video, Bad Day.
It's been a bad day.
But later get a green screen and go, and today's weather for gaming weather.
Yeah.
We have a forecast of
a storm is brewing in Midgar.
We have arc coming in from the left. And as you can see, COD Warfare is trying to come in from the right.
And then some heavy precipitation of Fall Guys occurring overnight. I think we will probably be talking about Fall Guys in the What's Being Played section later on. But yeah, we got Ryan, Steph, and D.
The better thing is, if we record this yesterday, I would have had no game to talk about.
Ah.
But I played a new game today.
Oh, good.
And it's only because it was. Do you remember when I was telling you I hate the fact I'm watching Gavin and Michael do the videos, and I'm going, it's dead easy. Where they're saying, we don't know what to do with this bit. And I'm like, I know what to do with that bit.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm watching Is Your Feet. I got that game. I got the game of please don't touch anything.
Ah, cool.
Okay.
That seems. You know what? Well, with that, let's just go straight into it. This is What's Being Played. Steph, what is please don't touch anything?
Well, I think it's meant mainly for VR. But you can't just play it desktop. VR will probably work a lot better. But is a game where literally you start the game and all there is in front of you is a button.
Is it a red button?
Yeah. Big red button. Big red button. It's the only thing in front of you. And as you sat there, the game controls you at the beginning, because I was a bit disheartened, because I was like, why can't I move? Why can't I do anything? And then all you see is a hand at the door going, mate, just hold the thing, I'll be back in 5 minutes. And just don't touch anything, and then the door shuts.
Oh, just as you do.
So, in the main game is basically there's loads of endings in the game. Lots of endings.
I'm assuming that's Yeah, sort of based on what you touched, when you touched it, if you touched it.
Let's put it this way. If you press the button, nothing really happens.
What?
Apart from some more switches appear.
Oh no!
But then if you hit the button again, a few more times, a drawer on the side of the desk opens up for a screwdriver. Then if you hit it a few more times, another drawer opens up on the other side with a hammer.
Oh, this really is the ultimate temptation simulator.
And then if you press it a few more times, that's an ending. That baffled me as well. I was just sat there going, because I only watched that bit of the clip where they go, I just don't know what this is, and I'm like, I know what it is, and I'm playing this game now.
Yeah.
So I know like one of the endings they got, and I've not even tried getting that at the minute. But yeah, I just sat there hitting the button, thinking, what happens if you just keep hitting the button? And the next thing you know, it just blows up the city. I found an ending that I haven't completed, where I find a floppy disk in a drawer, and it's called, I think it was like City Bomb. You put it in, and what you are is a little plane flying over the city, and you drop the bombs on it.
Okay.
The issue is, though, you can't hit any of the buildings. If you hit the buildings, it's game over, and you have to restart it and get back to that point to do that ending.
So drop the bombs without hitting anything?
No, you have to hit the bombs, but hitting the city. Basically, think of it as Space Invaders, but the other way around. You're shooting down as you travel down.
Okay.
It's reverse Space Invaders.
So instead of the aliens coming down and you're shooting up, you're going down while shooting down.
Yeah.
So that was one of the endings. I have found one ending which I don't believe they have found yet.
Oh.
And this is okay. When you first press the button, there's one button that pips up. That's just a flip. And I've got that ending because you just flick that and hit the red button, and you see a nuclear bomb go off. And then you get the reward. I love mushrooms.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Yep.
I love mushrooms. But if you carry on, there's then a 1 to 3 in Roman numerals. You put the code in for that. It opens up another panel. But this panel, you can either go left or right. Depending on which way you go, depends on what you get. If you go, I think it was left, you get a keypad. Right. If you went right, you got a UV light. By the way, this game is not one of them games you can like say you have to remember stuff from other gameplays.
Right. Okay.
There's stuff you have to enter on that pad from the UV light, and you can only get the UV light from going the other way. But yeah. I got the pad, and I was sat there just looking at this wall, and on the wall is a calendar.
Okay.
So I thought, okay, I'm going to put the year that calendar says on it, put that in. It then gave me a thing that was like like a lock, like a word lock. So yeah. What can
like
that
a
word
sort of thing.
So what can that word be? And I thought maybe it has something to do with the calendar still. So I'm sat there going, I can't spell April because that's the month it was on. But then I realised I can spell Earth, and the picture on that month was Earth.
And about.
So I did that, and it gave me a key. And in another playthrough, I found out where that key went. So I sat there going, I need to remember how to get that up. So I did what I had to do, get that up, put the key in, turned it off. All it does is launch you into space. Basically, there's I've done another one where it's travel to the future, and there's one for travel into the past.
Wow.
So it is a very Sunny Parable kind of deal.
Yeah. I don't tend to remember most of the codes when I've got the UV light, so I tend to I've not got any of the endings that need both parts that way. But there's so many endings. There's one with I peeled up the stamp on the side next to this printer. By the way, I still don't know how the printer works in that game. I can make it print, then it says correct, and then it says a few arrows, but it's upside down, and it gets paper jammed. So I don't know what the rest.
The bane of anyone's existence.
I don't know what the rest of the commands are. I know you can smash it with a hammer. I did that, and that's an ending.
Of course, because why would the hammer be there?
But yeah, you can pick up this stamp, and when you pick up the stamp, By the way, you've not pressed anything. You've just got the big red button. Pick up the stamp, and then the next thing you see is a passport appear. And the next thing you see is a guy with a mask. Like the hacker people.
Papers, please.
And it's like, do you deny your access?
It's a papers, please parody.
Basically, if you accept them, nothing really happens. If you deny them, it's like you become a government, like Russia and that is.
Glory to our Stoska.
Yeah, you basically become that, and they other people take over. This like government takes over, and you have no control.
Boom. That's not a bad game, papers, please. But
there is one where I unscrewed a thing on this unit. It's like a computer unit.
Yeah.
And it opened up to have a hamster on it in a wheel, and the hamster escapes.
Is that an ending?
Nope. But there is another hamster there, which I'm assuming I can make press the button.
Which would be an ending.
Yeah, I assume, because this there's a hamster in the bottom that drops out and runs away. Then there's another hamster in another box just above it that can't get out, and it has a button in front of it and a monitor just like you.
Oh yes,
you're the hamster.
I'm a hamster on a wheel. Oh, perfect. See, that's what I like. The little simple games that just, like what Dee said, and we talked about Stanley Parable before and the amount of endings in that, and sort of, for the simple concept that it is, how in depth that game actually is.
I spent a good 2-3 hours going through the Stanley Parable, trying to get all the. It's like I entered the elevator at one point, and I just heard. Stanley got bored. I'm like, oh, just get out the elevator. It's just going to leave you in there endlessly.
Yeah. Well, we still got to sit there. Maybe that 4-hour let's play that Steph's got of stopping the baby from going in the fire. The save the baby mini game that you get the achievement for if you saved the baby for so long.
I don't remember that.
It's in there somewhere.
I really need this memory bucket. I swear to God.
Oh yeah, that's the most infamous video of Immaterial Gamers history now. Is the memory bucket, which as I put on my Facebook at that point, that the pensive from Harry Potter is just a gaudy looking memory bucket.
Oh, the remember all.
It's the fancy bucket.
Yeah.
It's what the rich people have. I was showing the common one.
This is sort of if the pensive is Harrods, then the memory bucket is Poundland.
B&Q.
B&Q, all right, stepping up a little bit.
No.
Wix.
B&Q, Wix's, Asda, Tesco, Boots.
Possibly Wilkinson's.
It's even in the Spa.
Oh my God, a Spa. Yeah, it's there 2 for 1.
2 for 1 on memory buckets.
Spa or the Spa or
a Spa.
A Spa.
Anywhere you see someone mopping the floor, there's a memory bucket.
Yeah, that's all their potential memories that they're just mopping up the floor with.
No, it's the people that are coming into the store.
They walk in, their brain leaks a little bit looking at all the 2 for 1s that they've got.
Yeah. Then they forget how much they spent.
Yeah, I went to Spa. Yeah, how much did you spend? £132. Oh, what did you get? A couple of packs of Doritos. What the fuck?
So when you go shopping.
I went for some Doritos, and then when I was there, I thought I needed a bit of this, a bit of that. Then this was on sale. Then I can't remember why I got this.
Meanwhile, the store manager has got the memory bucket, and he goes, "Fool."
Just there, like sweeping it away. You'll never see these again.
Just pours it down the sink. The ocean is there's just the Atlantic Ocean in a few years' time will just be full of people's memories.
Well, if you do the whole Olaf thing, water has memory.
An onion has memory.
Onion has layers.
You don't forget all the poo it's got in it. So we've listened about please don't touch anything. And Dee, should we talk about Fall Guys?
I can do. I've been playing today. I played Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, the pirate game.
I never
Yeah.
liked it that much.
I played Forza Horizon, and yesterday I was talking about the Forza Horizon and Taylor's Principle. But I think I've already talked about Taylor's Principle
Yeah,
before.
because you've had a bit of a Game Pass splurge.
Yeah.
One has the world open to them, and they want, I'll have that, and I'll have that. It's a game buffet.
Yeah, I got some Forza Horizon, some Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, and a side of Talos Principle. It's nice, but yeah, we all eventually watched / played Fall Guys
Oh yeah,
over this weekend.
I watched.
Steph watched.
me, Duncan, and you did the thingy of it.
Yeah, I think Duncan at some point was just gonna was trying to fling a key for Fall Guys at Steph, but Steam's decided to do regional pricing, so that's fucked that all up.
Well,
Does it actually work if you get it to give it you as a thing, and then you send it to someone?
No, just for Steam it'll just install into the library. Now, if you got it on Humble,
No, but I thought with Steam you could get it as like a item, like in your bag.
oh, your inventory. I'm not sure.
Because you used to be able to get that and then just send them that for your inventory.
I think they changed now because if you do gift,
Because I've still got DLC music and all the rest of it like that.
Mm.
But no, what was it? But yeah, we played. Oh, do you want to talk about Fall Guys then?
Might as well. It is the game that everyone's talking about at the moment, for good or ill. The ill being that they had overwhelming popularity when the game first came out.
And the service crashed.
Wednesday. Yeah, the service crashed. And then they brought them back up
But,
for Thursday.
by the way, you do know they've put a notice on the Steam page for it.
Have they now?
We understand the number of jelly beans in the jar. We're working hard to increase our server capacity, but please be aware that matchmaking may be up and down during launch windows.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, you know,
That only appeared 2 days ago, I think.
Yeah.
So every time I click start, I seem to go straight to this page.
Just to see it. I mean, what
I don't even go to it just to do that. It just puts me on it.
Oh, good. I mean, their review count has gone back to mostly positive. It was mixed a couple of days after launch, because here's the thing: it's made by an indie outfit called Mediatonic.
Okay.
Now they've made games that we may have known about and may not have known about. They did a remake for the visual novel How for Boyfriend, the dating sim where you date pigeons.
Oh, that one.
Or birds.
Yeah, I vaguely know
they did the party game Foul Play. They also did, and we've talked about this on the podcast before, the visual novel / detective game / Sudoku simulator, Murder by Numbers. So they've been around a little bit, but then they went back into the party game idea with Fall Guys, and they got published by Devolver, which you've made it as an indie game if Devolver publishes you, because they like to back winners, and they've backed quite a few. It's sort of a sign that you made it, kind of. But yeah, what is Fall Guys? Well, it's what if you mix a multiplayer game like a battle royale? I know it's roll with me on this, and mix it with Takeshi's Castle, because everyone fucking loves Takeshi's Castle.
Yeah, well, the battle royale bit is the fact that it's 60 people dropped into a lobby.
Yeah, dropped into a lobby, and they fight to the finish, not always to the death.
To the end.
To the end. They fight to the end of
But,
their little jelly bean lives.
But now, it's the thing is, you can actually just be a dick and just grab people and just you're not going to win.
Yeah, like Takeshi's Castle.
Yeah, it's like you're not going to get through.
Yeah, this is the thing. It's like people are like, oh, people are dicks, and they just hang at the finish line. They just make silly things, and some actually help others and sacrifice them.
By the way, I'll be the one doing the silly things.
Yeah, and some will just sit there and cluck like a chicken at the finish line for 12 years, cheerleading them all as they go past.
No, what was it?
And to that you go, just like Takeshi's Castle.
Yeah, it's like the door. It's like it just spins the wheel and goes, "Well, today we're gonna get this challenge." It's like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
if you get the doors, like the foam doors are quite fun. Duncan on those freaking rising doors.
yeah, gate crash. Yes, I mean, a lot of the games you can clearly see were inspired by
Something
these
like Wipeout or Takeshi's Castle.
Saturday evening game shows.
Hmm.
It's a Knockout is another one that
Hmm.
would be sort of heavily inspired.
Soccer Wipeout and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Was
And
Wipeout Hammond or is it?
Oh well, not
Lister?
that the BBC would have you to believe. Apparently, Richard Hammond never did Total Wipeout. It's been always presented by Freddie Flintoff and Paddy McGuinness. Always,
Well,
don't question it.
I saw the trailer for their Extreme Takeover.
Yeah, which is basically repackage the Total Wipeout episodes, getting rid of the awkward bits, bits that involve the original presenters.
But yeah, it was. I know Lister did a series of something, I think.
Yeah,
Robot was.
Yeah, but Craig Charles, he was the commentator for Takeshi's Castle in the UK.
Was it?
Yeah. You wazzock.
Yeah, it's that fact that it's Lister's got a very Craig Charles or Lister or whatever.
Yeah, Craig's ridiculous replay.
It's one of those voices that you just kind of like. That's Lister.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's exactly as it is. I mean, for the Americans or for the sort of like the North American audience, they didn't have Takeshi's Castle. They had Most Extreme Elimination Challenge, which was a sort of a parody. It was like an improv show using Takeshi's Castle as its base. The format of Takeshi's Castle actually got revived in Thailand or Indonesia, one of the two.
I'm not sure.
And was initially narrated by Jonathan Wass.
Wassy?
Yeah. So it was basically the idea of Takeshi's Castle was then brought to sort of other markets, licensed by Tokyo Broadcast System. I mean, I'd love to see an actual, sort of remake. I mean, but this is still stuff that health and safety would not let you get anywhere near. Here's the thing. Health and safety wouldn't allow you to build a course like that in the UK anymore, which is why they shipped everyone over to Argentina for Total Wipeout. Which is
I find
silly.
that stupid. If people are happily signing the waivers, and that just let them.
Yeah, absolutely. And then to think of it this way, we're doing Ninja Warrior, which me and Martin, as a story, we went to one of the recordings of that. We went home early because they had to cancel that night's recordings because all the St. John's ambulance that they had on site had taken contestants
home
to hospital because of the injuries that happened on there. But can't have big red balls. Got a yappy dog again.
You can't have big red balls and what?
Yeah. Well, it was just nice. So, Fall Guys. Anyway, plays on that formula. Like Dee said, it's 60 people taking part in various little mini games until there is one little jelly bean or Fall Guy, depending on where you are, it's marketed, left standing.
And you get the crown.
Falling. Yes, the crown. Oh, yeah, Sunday. Okay, we're recording this on Monday, so yesterday.
Okay.
We'll tell you about the little story about the jelly bean that couldn't. I was so sort of happy. I was gone through the rounds, did a couple of the races, got through on the skin of my teeth on Slime Climb because of the aforementioned prick stood at the end of the line just hugging everyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, got to Fall Ball and absolutely humiliated our opponents in that. And got to Fall Mountain. And I'm happy to say I was going all the way through. I was so far ahead in first place, got to the crown and panicked.
Oh dear.
I flew and missed the underside of the crown. Because the crown because the crown floats. It floats up and down. And I panicked.
Stayed in one spot.
Hey?
I thought it stayed in one spot.
No, it floats up and down like a devious bastard. So I took my pigeon Fall Guy and flopped like a penguin.
Oh.
I whiffed, missed the crown, and watched as a hot dog grabbed it from behind. I was upset. And the worst bit, Martin was stood there and he looked and he went, "You dick. You idiot." I mean, especially on the rules on this as well. And so Duncan had brought this up when we played it in the Wheel of Wednesday, which will be coming out on Wednesday. So there will be Fall Guys. Yeah, it's very specific in its instructions. They always give you the instructions on how to play every game. And for Fall Mountain, it just says race to the top and press right trigger to grab the crown.
Yep, makes a very good point of that one.
Yeah, bouncing your little Fall Guy face off the end of the crown is not grabbing the crown. No. Falling headfirst onto the floor is not grabbing the crown. Touching it with your leg is not grabbing the crown.
Can I grab it with my leg?
Nope.
No.
You have to go with your hand.
It has led to a meme though. There were a couple of times as we talked about the server issues where people were moaning and like, I paid $20 for this and you can't even get your service sorted 2 seconds after launch. I'm gonna go back to COD. All right, bye. Yeah, because they don't have server issues, eh?
Yeah, it's also the game's just launched.
Yeah.
It's like WoW.
Mm-hmm.
What happens during the first week of WoW on a new patch?
I mean, just to note on this,
rotation.
Their last game that Mediatonic brought out was Murder by Numbers, and it was a niche game. So they weren't expecting sales and people to be playing stuff like that. Fall Guys comes out, and it's immediately, within hours, the most purchased game on Steam for that month, the most streamed game on Twitch for the weekend. It's now dropped down to about third or fourth, but that's of all games on Twitch. It beat League of Legends. It was beating Fortnite, for God's sake.
Holy cow!
So, and this is from a small independent studio in somewhere in England. So yeah, it caught them by surprise. And I'm happy that it did catch them by surprise.
Still number one in Steam, by the way.
There we go. So as of tonight's recording,
it's still a top seller.
Yeah.
Well, the Ultimate Knockout Edition is the top seller. And
I think they mentioned on Twitter it's in there twice, isn't it?
Yeah, and then it's Marv. It's in 3 times.
Oh god, all the DLCs are probably there as well.
The one DLC, it's in first, third, and fifth.
Of the top 10.
Yeah.
I just got the standard edition.
So you got the Ultimate Knockout, the Collector's Edition, and then the Collector's Pack.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's so nice that it is there, and and there's talk that they're going to be adding more game modes so they can go through. I mean, there's quite a few already, but we've gone through most of them. I've not gone to 2 of them. One is Royal Fumble, where it's the grab the tail game, except that there's just one tail, so whoever has the tail wins. And there's another one, Summit Showdown, Fall Showdown, or something like that. It's basically like the sweeper from Total Wipeout, but the floors start dropping as well as the sweeper's getting faster.
I've been on the sweeper one, and I got to 11 of 12 and went out.
Oh no, that's bad. I remember that as well when I was doing a rollout. The one where you're on the sort of the tube and all the sections roll.
Yeah, that one I couldn't wrap my head around quite easily, and I just went out pretty much. It was like
just keep going like left or just keep going up and down the thing is the best. Best advice I can give.
The one that looks like dominoes looked quite fun. That you and Duncan were on.
Block Party. Which is you're on a small platform and then blocks start coming through, and if you fall off, you lose. But the round ends if a certain amount of people get eliminated or the time runs out. It's one of the few survival games where a yappy dog could fall in the slime.
But no, it's...
And I wouldn't mind.
Mm-hmm. But no, what was it? I was talking and... But yeah, that's what I think I was saying yesterday. Take 3? Fall Guys is pretty fun. If you...
Yeah.
It's quick. It's one of those quick, fun games.
Yeah, it's a quick, casual experience where, I mean, okay, there are some of the items in the game that require crowns to purchase, and there's 2 ways you can get crowns. One, free leveling up.
Yeah.
That's
And
it,
the other...
paying for them, I assume.
No.
Yeah. Kudos is the only currency you can pay for. So the only other way to get crowns is to win.
It's to win all. You get 3 during the level up during the season.
Yeah. Yeah. So
and the season's 60 days.
Yeah. 40 levels, and that says to me that they're going to bring out a season pass.
Oh, it's going to be like
I think it'll be a bit like
No, I have a funny feeling it's going to be like the Royale games.
Oh yeah, the season pass.
Well, no, you don't buy a pass. It just refreshes every 60 days.
No, but you can still get a pass to give you the bonus content for that season.
Probably.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the thing that I'm seeing at least with season 1 on this, is that there is
what,
just one track.
That's what White Noise does.
But no, same with Apex and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's a free pass.
It'll be like the seasons with in Rainbow Six.
Where there's free content that you can gain, but then there's like premium content that you can gain if you buy the pass.
Yeah, if you buy the pass, you'll get let's say in Apex and all the rest of it, you'll get the characters that come out that season and shit like that. With this, you'll probably just get all the costumes that come out. And
in Apex, it's you get like the fly emotes and stuff. The pass.
Yeah. Yes, and like little, you're supporting this game extras.
No, it's one of these. You're still leveling up. It's like the TFT.
Yeah.
You get the coins. You get the free ones. You get the eggs and stuff. But with the pass,
but the actual pass, you'll gain all the other rewards in between, and it's a common gaming thing now.
Because they get the pass.
Yeah, and then they always get you with that bit of, oh, don't worry if you can't afford it now. If you get it later on, you'll get everything you've unlocked up to that point.
But no, it's one of those. If you are actually near the end of the trail and you're like, I want all that shiny stuff, because all the good stuff's on the pass.
That's how they get you.
Yep.
Yeah, but Fall Guys looks like it'll be on there, and it looks like it'll be on the play session rotation at some point. It's also
we did
something that could be
7 games. We did like God knows how many games in 20 minutes.
Well, yeah, this goes back on what you said about how it's sort of a quick experience to jump in and out of. All we request is, I like my Steam username Fall Guys. I mean, I like being Fall Guy 1063, but I want to be not him again.
Well, at least they're still being able to identify you.
Yeah, that's true.
I
just basically, that's your name if your name doesn't work.
Yeah. See, your identifier.
Yeah, I just wish. Well,
no. What do you wish? Well,
I couldn't remember everyone's. I barely remember my own.
Yeah. So when it comes to spectating, bit of ease of use on the spectator mode as well. Maybe if you join in as a squad, have the ability to spectate your squad first.
Yeah,
over.
Squad.
Yeah.
Because trying to go, which one are you again?
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I'm 6470. Okay, cool. And the other thing on that is it doesn't bloody list the Fall Guys in order when you're trying to go through them as well. So you just go, oh yeah, 1082, 1425, 6412, 6469, 1002. No. I just want 6470.
You in the order from what you are on the table, I assume.
Yeah. There's just something on there. But
it's the algorithm. You start there going, nope, and then you're like, 1156. No, it's 1158.
Yeah, but I mean, they're just little niggles in the servers sort of getting back there now. they've had that first weekend, which is probably the big gaming bit. Things will start to level off, and it'll be fun. I, for one, would like to see the updates and other weird Takeshi's Castle style modes they're going to throw in.
It's just basically, it's not, you can't play it for long though. It's not one of those you can grind it out for hours.
No, but then again, that's supposed to be the same with all battle royale. It's supposed to be.
You play like 20 minutes, half an hour, maybe an hour.
Yeah, jump in, jump out.
Where like Sea of Thieves, for example, is one of those. I played it for like an hour or so, and you don't get much.
You don't feel progress.
Well, also if you log out, all your stuff all your booty that you collected goes away because you start on a new ship each time.
Oh,
So
I thought you started on the same ship.
You start on a ship, but you don't start on the same ship.
But you can buy your own ship in that game, and you get it to spawn where you want it to spawn when you're in a map.
Yeah, if you can get to that point. But at this point, you start off with
You start off with like a little dinghy
sloop,
thing, don't you?
That's
your personal sloop.
No, but each time you spawn in, it doesn't spawn in the items that you collected.
Just because you can't keep the items on your ship.
You have to sell them by the end of the thing.
Yeah, so basically you have to complete your run, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
And people can just think your ship.
And they will. It's PvP designed in nature.
Yeah.
See, if you think Sea of Thieves is bad, you should try Atlas.
Oh.
Atlas, it can take you actually hours from getting to one side of the map to the other. And let's put it this way: Atlas is meant to be played on a cluster server. Each server runs a segment of the map.
Yeah. So it'd end up being shards, like what would have then ended up being Eve.
Yeah.
Because it's just so massive, it just runs on one sort of world broken down into segments.
Yeah. But no, it was Sea of Thieves was like it's been an experience. I can see it being it is better with if you're on your Todd, it's like, nope, I can't bilge the water, raise the sail, navigate all at the same freaking time. It is designed to play with 3 or 4 of you. Minimum.
See, I played it with Darren. You can play it with 2. It's not that bad with 2. I played it with Darren.
I played it on my own, but it's really hard because you got to try and lay on. It's like sails, navigating, getting rid of the water. It's just like too much. Nope.
Too little, too late.
Because you take your hand off the wheel, or the you know what I mean.
The wheel. It is
the wheel. To go check the map to see which direction you're going, and you're like, oh, you just see on the map, you just see it spinning around.
Suddenly, Kraken.
Yeah, it's like
that's not the worst thing in that game.
Or the sharks, or the
If the Kraken is not the worst thing in the game, I'm concerned.
You've got fleets of
the fleets
and shit like that.
Oh God.
And they when they shoot your ship, they go through your ship as they shoot.
Oh, don't like that. Don't like that. Right. So we're about 40 minutes in. Let's move on to some news.
It's not great news, but I found some news.
You have. We'll work on the continuation of a thing that we talked about slightly during the last one. There was rumors because Warner Brothers Games is owned by AT&T, and AT&T
wasn't
to
really
sell
rumors, was it?
Well, no, actually.
If you read that article, they say it's no longer for sale.
They've retracted.
Yeah, but I mean, there was all the talking about the Unicronics Arts situation. I must credit Jim Sterling for that. Jim, thanks. Unicronic Arts, but EA were apparently one of the big interested buyers or interested parties regarding the sale of Warner Brothers games and the studios therein, which include NetherRealm Studios, who make Mortal Kombat, and Rocksteady, who made the Batman Fighty games.
Ah, okay.
You
know more than what I figured out, but I just heard that they pulled out, and I went, kind of interesting. It's kind of news.
Yeah, unrelated. There's about 8 million news sites that were saying that that Rocksteady have got their next project up on the teasing. So they've done an announcement of an announcement that they may be making a Suicide Squad game.
Yeah. And the other one that's getting possibly made is a Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Well, one of the other little companies.
An RPG, yeah.
A Harry Potter RPG.
Yeah. But that's not by Rocksteady, though.
No,
That's
that
by
was
Avalanche.
Avalanche.
Yeah. But yeah, AT&T have decided, in big news, they don't want to sell it now.
Well, what to do? So they're going to restructure.
Oh dear, that sounds good, doesn't it?
I was reading the article, and they're going to have to if they don't sell it, they're going to need to restructure it. So basically, they're
Clean the dirty.
So as we were.
Yeah, right. It's basically they're going to need to do a lot of restructuring to not liquidate it.
Yeah. So yeah, this is on Push Square where Deeds found this one. So yeah, it's just that simple. They found it's either sell the company or
they sell liquidate and sell the company, or they restructure, and they don't know how the restructure is going to go yet.
Firing people.
Yeah. And
let's think about it. We'll talk about that on podcast 107. No, I won't talk about it. You'll probably talk about it on podcast 107, where you do find out that Warner Brothers are laying off 500 employees.
Yeah, in the restructure.
Yeah, in the restructuring, as said by the CEO. So for now, Warner Brothers Games still lives.
Yeah.
Kind of, for those who are happy about that. I mean, I'm all right for the Batman thing, but
I do like Arkham.
Yeah, it's all
well,
right.
The first Arkham. By the third,
I enjoyed
Arkham,
Injustice.
Apparently, that might be the think tank on the bottom of that article is Injustice 3 is getting made by one of the companies.
Possibly. It's NetherRealm.
NetherRealm. That's what they think NetherRealm's up to.
Yeah. So what else? While NetherRealm are making new games, there is going to be someone at Capcom who is not going to be making any new games anymore because they've decided to leave.
Retire. Well, yeah, leave after 30 years.
Yeah. So the Streets of according to Games Radar, what's the name here? Yoshinori Ono, one of the big people behind like Street Fighter games and other stuff at Capcom, has stated after a long 30 years at the company that they are going to seek pastures new.
Yeah. Basically, I'm done.
Yeah.
It's been 30 years, I'm done.
Yeah. I mean, there's the quote here that's from them says, and now, after serving almost 30 years at Capcom, I am leaving the company this summer. This means I will resign my position as the brand manager of Capcom's various titles, including Street Fighter. Well, we salute you for your fighting game and other Capcom stuff, and if you were involved in, like the rebranding of Resident Evil, that'd be nice. If you were involved with Resident Evil Man-Filleting Giraffe, sorry, 6. I can't even say that joke. Loading Ready Run. I credit them.
Yeah.
No, seriously, look at that logo for Resident Evil 6. And when you hear someone call it Resident Evil 6 Man-Filleting Giraffe, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's just, I don't know.
So, there's going to be new time. We'll find out who the new brand manager is at Capcom soon, and whether Street Fighter 6 will end up being drove into the ground, or if they'll continue with Capcom's upswing that they've been doing. I mean, Resident Evil Village is coming out soon.
But yeah,
which, after getting shit scared from Resident Evil 7 enough to have a swear box, yeah.
I'm the only crazy. I was the crazy one that completed it and went through on the next difficulty.
Yeah, you're
and got to Mother and was like, uh-oh. Oh, I think I got just after Mother and went, uh-oh.
Yeah. So I've not even got to the I've not even got to the surprise party. So we'll leave that there. So finally, we'll get round to this. Donald Trump.
Oh.
We don't talk about him enough on this podcast.
No, we don't.
We talk about him too much on this podcast.
He needs to not.
Both at the same time. We don't think ill will of him to be harmed in any way. But as presidents go, someone who believes at this point, whether they decide, whether they feel or not, that they think they are deserving of a head of Mount Rushmore. Sling your rock, mate.
No.
Anyway.
I think he needs a memory bucket.
Yeah.
No, actually, his memory bucket would just... You'd need one for his policies and da-da-da-da-da-da. You'd need, like, a full...
And the other for his Twitter account.
Yeah, the ones... and then the ones for his employees, like, telling, do not use Twitter, please.
It was great. No, he was in the news for being... for spelling genius with a J. No, that's not true. It was a meme. But he did have a pretty upfront interview with some news reporter at NBC. Axios, I think, was the name of the show. But he got like completely roasted by the guy to the point where someone had actually did a meme of a video of Donald Trump interviewing Donald Trump with the data they were passing to each other.
Oh God.
It was fun. But anyway, that's not the story. It will get round to gaming related stuff soon. So he's a very big proponent of signing executive orders. They're basically presidential mandates that say, I demand this. And provided it's constitutional, he can do it. Presidents have done it before in the past, particularly in stuff like going to war and sort of dealing with financial situations and the depression. But he's the president who signed the most presidential orders since Ronald Reagan in the 80s.
Oh God.
By far. And one of his
Reagan was... Yep, Reagan.
Yeah, Reagan was Reagan. But he signed the executive order over last week regarding the bane of everyone's social media existence, Tick-Tock.
Oh God.
That
little thing.
Under the assumption of security breaches by China, which people are a bit about, to say that in 45 days, the US will prohibit any transaction by any person with the company behind Tick-Tock, ByteDance Limited. Like I say, they quoted national security and Chinese interference. But it is vague enough that they talk about any US transaction with any Chinese app or holding company.
That's problematic.
A question that came up.
That's very problematic.
And something that we kind of talked about last week was the company Tencent. And their involvement, we talked about the LEC situation, and that's sort of settled a little bit. There are still people sending abuse towards Froskurin, which means you are fucking subhuman. Goodbye. Personal opinion, but we're Immaterial Gamers. We have personal opinions. They're not related to Immaterial Gamers themselves, but yeah. Tencent. Chinese company, big media company. They also own an app which is like WhatsApp, but it's not WhatsApp, called WeChat. And that's it's allowed Chinese expats to communicate with their family in mainland China. There's a possibility that could be banned because there'll be US transactions that be going there. What does Tencent also own? It owns a stake in Epic Games. Which is problematic in terms of US transactions there. What does it also own? Oh, let's see. Maybe. Don't know. It definitely owns in 100% Riot Games.
Oh dear, that's not good.
So the picture is on this. There's a lot of scrambling by sort of Chinese companies owned or like own subsidiaries, such as Riot, and sort of trying to read this executive order to see if it will affect them.
Wait, is Hong Kong part of China or not?
Hong Kong is an autonomous state of China.
Because I was going to say like HBCs and stuff like that. There's loads of big companies in China.
I mean, there's a controversial security law which sort of makes Hong Kong now just part of China by force rather than anything else. But we'll just gloss over
like
that.
was it HBC or HBI or whatever? The bank.
HSBC
goes through Hong Kong.
Yeah. But they don't really operate that much in America, I don't believe. But so it's led to a lot of companies going, what do they mean by anything by China? What do they mean by transaction?
Because wouldn't also that be trade? Because what, 80% of trade comes from China?
Yeah. So the problem is, like we say, the order is vague enough, but it's like this could affect, which is funny because 45 days, this could affect, if it does affect Riot, and it does affect Epic Games, it affects esports again. And yes, this is 2 weeks we're talking about League of Legends esports.
Well, it's the LEC.
This could affect the LCS.
The
League Champion Series, the North American League.
Yep. And that meant to be their world thingy. Like,
yeah, but they've got the World Championship.
It will also affect Pepper Vaxels, Clan of Titans, Funcom.
Oh God, Tencent owns stakes in Funcom and Grinding Gear.
And
Ubi.
And Platinum Games.
Fuck. Tencent own a lot of pies.
Battleground.
Yes, because Blueprint is part of, not Blueprint, Blue. Yes, thank you. They're Tencent.
Well, there's
it'll also Digital Extremes. Warframe.
Yeah, it's basically Tencent's all over the place. But it's like the HS thingy company.
BC.
Yeah, the HSBC company and their subsidiaries. It's endless. Freaking endless.
Yeah. But the thing that I'm seeing on this sort of story by The Guardian is that this is like a squeaky bum situation for companies for 45 days, and there is the opinion that it's not going to happen.
China has too much trade and has too much power.
Well, there's that. Secondly, it probably considered unconstitutional.
It's also,
which means it's at that point it's also got to get voted through the Senate and the House of Representatives, and they're probably going to say no.
I see the Senate going, yep, no.
No, the House would say yes, but it's got to go through the Senate first, and they'll say no.
Yeah, if the Senate say yes, I'm going to be surprised.
Oh, yeah. But they won't. So, we'll keep an eye on that, and in 45 days' time or less, we'll see if America is allowed to play video games anymore.
Or order basic, like, their economy.
Yeah. So
they're shipping. They ship.
Okay, so I will put this as a thing then, especially for sort of League of Legends, because we've just had the final week of the regular season of the LEC. Playoffs will happen in a couple of weeks' time. That'll come out in the Fantasy League at the end of the week. Things have gone forward on there. But I'd just like to make this statement again. Ryan's opinions are his own; they're not of Immaterial Gamers. But LEC would roll over LCS any day of the week. Come out.
What, the American League?
Yeah. But then to the LPL and LCK, it was good. It was nice playing against you. Trophy's yours. Yeah, great.
That'll be the Korea team and stuff, won't it?
Korean Chinese teams.
Yeah. They're just in their own little world.
Yeah.
No offense, but
so
you know what you want to do.
Yeah. So we're near the hour. So now that we've had that, and we'll be happy to play our games for the next few weeks. So I won't be here next week.
Mm-hmm.
Got to take some R&R. So the podcast will be done by a team or conglomerate of Steph D. Duncan Industries, and maybe more, or maybe variations of that set.
Oh, that's interesting. With the COVID pandemic, something's gone into thingy, and Tencent and Sony are trying to bid for it.
Oh. Maybe Tencent should hold off on the bidding of stuff before they can get worldwide trade.
Liu is a World Cup in Hong Kong-based global video game holding company.
So yeah, more stuff.
But it's just the
economy. Sony may have a little bit more money.
Yeah, just a little.
There you go.
Sony can just win the war slightly. So so we'll wrap this up. So if you liked what you heard or saw, if you watched the vidcast, please like, share, subscribe, click the bell, do all that jazz. We are available, if you're not watching the vidcast, on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. For video thing, you look at me like I'm a weirdo there, but yeah, it turns out you can get podcasts on stuff that's not just Apple Podcast and Spotify. There's plenty of players around. That's why we got the download link.
Wait. If they're players, does that make them pimps?
Podcasts in the management position. Pimp. Yeah. So all that's left to say is thank you, D. Thank you, Steph. I've been Ryan, and from the yappy little bastard dog. I'll see you next time. So bye, guys.
He keeps at you.